Hey friends, and happy December 1st. As I shared with you previously, when I go to the beach over Thanksgiving, it's my time to kind of flip through all the magazines and catalogs that I have received that I've not had time to look at in November. So this year, I had a Ballard Designs catalog, and a table garland caught my eye. And so I am going to attempt to make a paper table garland, and all I'm going to be using is some ribbon, some coffee filters, and some tape, and some hot glue. So I'm going to first of all show you my inspiration here. It's just a really beautiful garland running down the middle of a table, and I thought, wouldn't that be just gorgeous for the holidays? But the price tag on it is a little bit much, so I'm going to attempt to do something similar here today, so we'll see if it's a win or a fail. Okay friends, the very first thing we have to do is we have to prepare our coffee filters. And so the very first thing I'm going to do is show you how I'm making the flowers themselves. So what I'm just doing is I'm just taking the, folding it right in the middle, grabbing it and just kind of twisting this bottom here until I've got it like at a peak. Then once I have that twisted around really good, then I'm just taking a tiny little piece of tape. And I do want to say you could use a little bit of wire here. I even thought about using a needle and thread and, you know, stitching these on. But I quickly saw, because I tried it, that was going to be time consuming. So this is just real quick and easy. I've made a little flower here out of the coffee filter, and I put a little piece of tape here so that it stays secure and that it stays in this shape. So I'm going to make several of those, and then the next thing I want to do is make some leaves. If you saw on the photo of the original garland, it had some like holly looking leaves on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to again fold my piece of coffee filter in half. I'm gonna start at the bottom, taking my scissors. Now you could draw this on if you don't feel like you've got the skills, but it's just real easy. You just kind of cut like a little half moon out of the coffee filter, and then going right in at the peak of that last cut and make another little half moon cut out, and then start again at the top of this little peak, and then go up and dig it in and come out right at the top of where the fold is. So then when you open it up, you've kind of got like a star. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold that over, because we want this to look like a holly leaf. I'm folding it over in the center here, and then I'm just kind of pulling all this together at the bottom, twisting it around just like we did with the flower stems. And then I'm going to add just a tiny little piece of clear tape to it. I had some floral tape, but it's green, and I was just afraid that would not work very well on this. So just some regular old tape. But see, now we've got kind of a really cute little holly leaf made. And we're just, see, and these are the pieces that have been cut out of that. We're just going to toss those away. And I'm just going to continue making these, and then I'm going to show you how to attach them. So that's the first step, is getting several of your flowers and your leaves together for your garland. And then we're going to go to the next step. Okay, I've got several pieces made up now to start arranging my garland. Now you could use any type of ribbon here. This is just some that I already had that was left over from my Christmas tree. And I had also thought about just using like some jute twine to do this, but again, the idea of how to get it to lay on it just perfectly, and because on the one that is my inspiration, it looks like it's wired, and that would be fine. You could do that, but I'm just trying to do something really quick and simple to duplicate that, and so I can have it on my holiday table. If you notice at the very beginning, the very first flower is a little bit larger than the ones that are going up the edge. So what I thought I would do is start out with one of the coffee filters kind of opened up a little bit. I've kind of crinkled it up, but we're not going to put it on there as tightly as we did the other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take a drop of the hot glue here. And you do want to protect your surface under here. And I'm just going to stick this one right on kind of at the bottom here. And you be careful with your fingers because that hot glue is hot. So we've got one right here that we're going to kind of be our little base. In fact, I'm going to take my scissors and kind of press that down, make sure it's really good and on there. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a couple of these different ones and put them inside of the little ones that I've made. As you can see, and they've got the tape on them. So once that's on there, I'm just going to take a little bit of hot glue again, stick it in, and just put that right in the center there, making sure that it adheres really well. Then I'm going to take another one. We're going to do the same thing, a little bit more glue. And we're going to put it right in there as well. So now we've got two going. Let's just go ahead and put one more just for safe measure. This is just on the end. Now the rest of it's going to be a little bit simpler. Hot glue, and we're going to put another one in here. So now we've kind of got a larger looking flower right here on the end. And I wish they would make hot glue that did not do this stringing thing, but unfortunately, I don't know when we're going to see that. Okay, so there we go. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and add on some of the leaves to make it start to look like a leaf. I mean, a holly leaf. So we're going to put one right here on the edge. I hope you can see what I'm doing here. Let me first of all raise this up and let you see what that first one looks like. Okay, and then we're going to take this next holly leaf, and I'm just going to put a dab of glue right on top of the ribbon. Press that down into it so that we have the holly leaf coming off of the side. Then I'm going to go ahead and put another single little flower here right next to it. Okay, let's see, what do I want to do next? Now this is where we start to just be as creative as you can be. I'm going to take another one of the holly leaves and I'm just going to put it over here to the other side and press it down. Okay, another flower right beside of that. And you're going to kind of want to lift them up and let them kind of overlap each other here. Okay. And again, this is about the stringiest I've ever seen. Don't know why that's wanting to adhere to it like that. Okay, so here's what we're looking like so far. We've got, this is going to be laying on the table, and this is what we're seeing so far. So let's just go ahead. I'm going to pause the video because it's a little boring to watch me put hot glue on. But I'm going to do that and show you in just a minute what it looks like as we're continuing up the edge of this ribbon. Okay, friends, it's coming right along. A couple of things I've learned in this process. One is to go ahead and cut several of your leaves together. You can put several of these together and you know, cut them, and you'll never know the difference. So that's one little time-saving thing, is to put a stack of them together and cut them all out together, and then, you know, make them into the individual leaves. The other thing that I found is, because you're putting the hot glue on there, is to go ahead and put a couple of the flowers pieces together. So what I'm doing is just pulling off a little extra of the tape, and what I'm doing is I'm starting to wrap it around one of them, and once I've got it secured, then I go ahead and add another one to the mix. And then that way, what you've got is two pieces that are already together like this. And then when you put the hot glue down for this piece to go down, then you don't have to do as much. Two of them are going in at the same time, so that just saves you a little time and effort there. So those two are now on there, and then we're ready to add some more leaves. And I'm almost finished. It's looking really, really pretty, and I think it's gonna look really pretty on the table. So I'm just working it down to get to the other end, and then I'm gonna show you what it looks like on the table itself. So stay tuned. Okay, friends, the table garland is finished, and I am loving how it looks. I'm going to show you how it looks on an actual table. I think you'll be impressed. I actually used the small 1 to 4 cup coffee filters, and it didn't take nearly as many as I thought it might to do this. It took a couple of hours total. That was doing all the prep work as well as attaching them. So anyway, it's a fun, festive look for a table. This would also be great to use for something like a shower table or a wedding. It really is pretty, but I'm going to show you what it looks like on the table. Okay, friends, after closer inspection, I was not real happy with how white everything looked, and so I decided that what I needed to do was stain it with a little bit of coffee. And so I'm just doing, since I've already put this together, I'm just doing a really simple little thing. I'm just taking a paper towel, dipping it into the coffee, and just kind of patting it onto the different leaves and everything. Just giving, just aging it just a little bit. Nothing spectacular here, just putting a little bit of coffee stain onto the coffee filters to give them a more aged look. So I'll share with you exactly how it all looks after it becomes dry, but I think this is going to make it exactly the way I wanted it to look.